All right, one clap in front of your face.
Okay, I'm gonna watch this little video. We ready?
Yeah.
Like, when I climbed Ahab, it was like the most full-body spiritual experience of my life.
Can you hear it? No, you don't even have headphones.
Connecting with the wall, yet we want to climb stuff where like just our tips and just our toes are touching the wall. Like, no, I want to hug this thing. I want to like have granite all up in my freaking mouth.
I want to leave with like bits of.
If you can see how fired up he is saying all this, you're like, dude.
Yeah, check this out.
Like, you're basically as close to like making love to the captain as you possibly can. That's why you off-width climb. Like, there's no other way to put it.
So Chris Burkard contends that all rock climbing, except for off-width climbing, is just foreplay. You're like, I moved half an inch. I think anyone that exclusively off-width climbs knows that they've got a little something weird going on. I sagged a quarter of an inch, and then imagine doing wrestling with somebody with like a cheese grater. And every time they get you into a lock, they cheese grate you as hard as they can. You're off-width climbing sucks.
The second off-width trainer was because I realized that I needed to be closer to my kids. You shove it in your basement, it's cold, it hurts. If I could build an off-width in my bed, I probably would somehow. It never dawned on me how addictive it would become. Every night I was at the bouldering gym, every weekend, every weekday in the summer I was out like at the local crag. Eventually, it leads you to Yosemite. The first time you go to the valley, your eyes aren't trained. You don't know what you're looking at. You're just looking for the most obvious thing, and the most obvious thing are the big, wide cracks. I started to look online, like, what does one need to do this? Like, what's the path to get there? All of a sudden, I'm on this forum, and it's the Yosemite Hardman Off-Width Circuit. I'm like, what's that? And it's basically all the most badass off-widths listed out by grade, 10A. 10B, 10C, 10D. You've got Chingondo, you've got Doggy Doo, and you've got Generator, and you've got Cream, and you've got all these things, there's all these stories of people vomiting and crapping themselves because unlike a lot of other climbs, you're using your entire body. I think that's the draw to me. That was always the draw.
It's so insane. It's amazing. It's really, really fun.
For me, the history of a climb is probably the most enticing thing. It's who did it, it's when, it's how. I'm sifting through this guidebook and I get to the Twilight Zone. I realized it's actually early in the season. If I don't try to do Twilight Zone now, it is never, ever gonna happen. All I can really do is like shove my body into every crevice and try to just absolutely like blue collar my way up this thing. If I could have used my teeth, I probably would have. I'm like trying to channel some inner Chuck Pratt, trying to think about what he had to do on this thing. And the best part about it is that you're actually super secure. You're just terrified. But you're just wondering, like, how long can I sit here and recuperate before I get to the top?
Almost there!
I don't know. I don't even know how. I don't know if it was by some stroke of luck. All I know is that maybe all those sessions in the garage or those sessions on the off-width trainer in some way paid off, because you can add my name to the list of people who have on-sighted Twilight Zone.
I'm at the top! It's insane!
This is purely elective suffering. Like there's nobody forcing you to do it. That's the rad part about it. Like, this is fun. Like, why don't people smile more? Like, why isn't this fun anymore? What happened to that whole concept that like you're going out and you're doing this because you can?
I waited like 6 years for this. All right, Bernard, dude! So psyched. I'm so stoked you got that. Oh my gosh.
I do this for me, and I kind of love that there's mystery out there. When all of our lives, when everything we do, all of our actions are shared and commented and liked, and it's so cool to have some aspect that's just like, no, this is a little bit secretive. Like I do this because it gives me clarity. That's just how I'm wired. I don't know. Maybe it's secret to success. Maybe it's my secret to my stupidity. I have no idea. We should go, sir.
That was a good line.